Okay, short video this week. I got a lot going on. I got my session 0 for my next campaign tomorrow with my home group. I got to get my one-shot City of Zir up and running, and there's Origins Convention next weekend. Super excited for that. So, only a really short video. What I want to talk about is a couple of tools that I use that I don't see other DMs using. Something that's really, really useful. I find really speeds up my gameplay and makes my players more engaged, and I think your game could really benefit from. But I don't see anyone else doing it. I don't see anyone like writing about these things on Reddit or EN World. I bust this out occasionally like at a game store or at a convention, and people are blown away. And I think they start using it too because it's just so useful. So the thing I want to share with you guys is this. Check it out. Real simple measuring stick. So we've all had that problem where you're trying to determine if someone, at a few diagonal squares away is in range, or how about a flying creature, how do you traverse going up and then at an angle? And there's lots of really like convoluted ways to figure this out. You count every other diagonal square as 2, or you just do the shortest leg of the triangle, or you just sort of like hand wave it. All those are fine, but I really think that this is way easier and way more intuitive. 5, 10, 15, 20, or 10, 20, 30, 40. You can count by the black squares, you can count by the white squares. It's easier than a ruler too, because there are no numbers on it to sort of confuse your mind. It's useful in all sorts of situations. Whether or not that cursed troll is within range when you're trying to fire with your bow, whether or not you have to roll with disadvantage. Whether or not this pixie flying through the forest is within range of your firebolt spell. Or doing things on maybe like a mountainous setting or a collapsing cavern where people are both up and away. It's a really easy way to incorporate range and distance in your game tactically without adding a lot of extra math, and something that feels fast and easy at the table. It's not a big extra tool. It's no extra calculations at the table. It's just hold this up and freaking count. It's an actual thing that you can touch. It feels, it has that tactile element to it. It's literally just a wooden dowel that I've marked off 1-inch increments and colored in with a marker. Anybody can do it for like 50 cents. Highly recommend it. Let me know what you think. All right, the other thing that I use a whole lot that I don't really see other DMs using are these things. Check these guys out. Whoa. They're these little glass beads, super cheap. You can get a whole bunch of them at the dollar store or at Michael's for only a few bucks. They come in lots of different colors, and you can use them for a myriad of purposes in your game. I use them as spell markers for spiritual guardians and other area of effect spells that I don't have custom-made markers for. I use them to mark conditions on creatures, whether or not you're bloodied or poisoned. I've seen Matt Mercer use these sort of bottle lids, and those are fine. I use them for certain spells, but overall I prefer the glass stones because I feel they're more immersive. They're got a sheen and weight and color to them that you just don't get with this cheap plastic. I also use them to mark important objects during combat. Like if the players are trying to carry a key to a door before the gnolls get them, then I'll use one of these stones with a key marker on it. Another great use is for invisibility. You just take the mini off the table and replace it with one of the clear beads. It's great. All the players know where the character is, but still get the effect of that, hey, they're invisible now. It's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it, and my players smile every single time. And they're also really good for quick summons like Conjure Woodland Beans or Find Familiar, where you don't want to go digging through all of your minis to get one out. Or if somebody wild shapes and you want something that will represent them that's not just a penny or a poker chip, something that has the right color, and again, this tactile feel. It feels like a real game piece. It keeps immersion better than just a penny. Or if I'm DMing on the go, I'll use them as monsters and character markers. You can get different sizes and paint them if you want special custom markers or different sizes for different monsters or types. All right, so the last one that I use that I don't really see a whole lot of other DMs using is freaking Excel. Well, actually I use Google Sheets, but I think most people are DMing from their laptops nowadays. I think maybe only like 10% of DMs are still completely old school pen and paper. I think most folks are using their laptops or their tablets because you can keep your adventure notes, you can play music. Maybe if you're really fancy, you're using D&D Beyond. If you have your electronic equipment up anyway, Excel or Google Sheets is a really great way to do all sorts of things. Track initiative, track enemy HP. It's just really simple formulas that you can spend 5 minutes to learn if you don't know anything. If you're really cool, I'm sure you could write a piece of JavaScript that will make the enemy's HP flash red when it reaches 0 and automatically sorts it by initiative once you put it in. It's just a really great tool that does a whole bunch of stuff using something that's already behind your DM screen anyway. All right, so that's the video, folks. I'm really looking forward to Origins next weekend. Go ahead and reach out to me at Zipper on Disney on Twitter. And I look forward to our next vid. Let me know what you think in the comments below.